Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome to today's trading live. All right, I'm getting some feedback here. All right, hope everyone is doing good and looking forward to having a great session today, like we did yesterday with Samir. So let's see what we can get into today. I'm gonna start off with gold. Just take a quick look here. Yeah, we're going to start off with gold and kind of look at gold a little bit before we get into the other assets. Because I feel we are in an interesting zone in gold, and we're gonna look at it from this platform's perspective, and then kind of zoom out and look at it again because for the past few days I've been looking at gold, and I know a lot of people are interested in um this metal that's kind of supposed to be this safe haven. So let's get into it. Let's take a quick look at gold, and then we'll get into our analysis. Hello, welcome to the show. Good to see you here. I like your mean bear profile pic. So that's an interesting one there. All right. Let us know what you trade. Let us know what you're looking at, and of course, remember to like, remember to subscribe if you're not. And I'll have Jane joining me at around in about an hour, as usual, so she can give her perspective on the market. But right now, let's take a look at gold. So for me right now, we are kind of in a no man's land area for gold, at least on a longer term. Maybe you could get some quick scalps there on gold, but at least for me, we are in no man's land. You're saying learning to trade in gold. Okay. So, we're looking at the futures contract, we're looking at the GC, but so you're probably going to get some different numbers, but definitely you can utilize that information to trade the CFDs. So as we know, we had a gap down on gold like the other assets. And then yesterday we recovered that, we filled that gap, right? So we gapped down from here and we recovered all the way to those 4850s. But the interesting thing is we were not able to push higher, not even we didn't even go to retest this prior week's resistance area. We pulled back again and we settled. Now, something I want you to see shorter term, and then we'll take a look at the longer term, is that I consider that gap to be the inflection area. And what do I mean by inflection area? I mean the area that determines, at least on the short term, whether we are bullish or bearish. So right now, we are consolidating right below what I consider to be this inflection area here. And the inflection area is, let me get my arrows here. What's going on with the app? I think this thing has frozen on me. Give me one sec. Are we back? All right, we're back. So let's get this arrow here. All right. So this area is the inflection area, right? So as long as we are above the between the 4850s and 4817s, I would consider us to be kind of bullish. How you doing, Gian Rhoda? Welcome to the chat. I know you're a gold trader, and we started with gold today. And this is kind of my take right now. So we are right below, this previous consolidation area. And I wrote here no man's land because, at least for me, for the way I trade, I consider this to be kind of don't touch it yet area, right? Because we are right below where we're right below this gap. So we need the asset to show us, at least for the bullish case, are we able to break above and continue above this inflection zone? So that's probably not going to happen in a single day unless we get some breaking news again. But what would we want to see? Well, we had a pretty interesting formation here, a pretty bullish formation. We broke out, we got into the middle of the inflection zone, and then yesterday I was talking about how we kind of formed this classical chart pattern. You know, this cup and handle. So you have the cup here, and then you could consider this to be. So we tested the high like we said yesterday with Samir. We pulled back. I don't have my volume bars, but we had the volume come in and then we pulled back again. What we wanted for confirmed bullishness in the longer term was, you see this green print right there, this green candle. This is a 15-minute chart, by the way. You wanted this to have follow through and go, continue the highs and have kind of an explosive move, maybe similar to this one, to confirm that, okay, we are reaching bullish territory again. That did not happen. We pulled back. We found support right above this area, which is still a good sign. And then we tried to push higher. And then we reached the high of the gap and we completely pushed lower while equities were pushing higher. So right now, it looks like equities and gold are somewhat inversely correlated. It might not be, 100% inverse correlation, but they are somewhat inversely correlated. So right now, as long as we remain inside this, I'm not interested in the trade. What we want to see is, at least in the short term, is, okay, can we break out of this area decisively, close below this area, retest, and then move down? Now, as we move down, there's something you need to keep in mind, is that we would come right around this liquidity zone, which could be a possible reversal, right? So again, this is a zone where your scalps might need to be quick, right? That's what you might need to keep in mind. So this is my take for the asset right now. For me, for my style of trading, we are in no man's land. No man's land means I cannot touch this yet. Now, if I zoom in even more and go in on a 5-minute chart for scalps, right now, short term, I am not seeing any setups unless we can decisively either break out of this area, break down, or break to the upper area. And the same um, kind of pattern would be what we would be looking for. It would be a break, decisive break out of there, retest of those highs. So we don't want to go to the high of the zone and then kind of have it sold again here. Maybe that would be kind of a, your mean reversion trade where you enter short here for a retest of this area. But that's not me personally. That is not a trade I would take. Of course, your mean reversion traders out there could take it. It is good that right now we're seeing a break out of this, so we're pushing lower, so that's good. We want to see, okay, can we sustain this? Can we close out of here, um, and pull back and then continue further lower? But that would be the thing. For the bullish case, is the same scenario. We break out of here, we pull back, and we are able to maintain, to kind of flip this resistance level into support in the short term and continue to the upside. So that's what I would be looking at on gold short term. Now I'm gonna switch to my trading view right here and go longer term with you guys. Here's something I want you to keep in mind, and I have it marked here on a strictly technical. Let me turn off my volume bars right now. Technical analysis basis, right? If you take, I'm going to delete the lines and I'm going to redraw this because I've seen, I'm going to keep harping and keep showing this. And I'll show this to Jane maybe so she could tell me what she thinks. Is if you take this higher wick to this higher wick, right? And then you copy it and paste it right down there, it gives you the exact same inclination, right? which means it's highly likely, right, that we are in a sideways, much longer term, of course, but we are in a sideways consolidation or accumulation pattern, right? And then if you zoom out, this is a daily chart. If you zoom out, right, and maybe I should even put it on a weekly chart, this kind of looks like a bull flag, right? What would that mean? That would mean that we need to oscillate inside this zone for a while, right? And maybe even go retest. So there's different levels we can think about. We've already reached those 4200s, right? We haven't tested the liquidity yet below at the 339.90s, which is another level we could test. We could possibly even go much lower and go retest those previous highs where we broke out from back in the summer of 25. So April, May, June, right? Which would be 3,800, 3,600 before we possibly, break out and go form once again another bullish structure. Am I bullish on gold longer term? Of course I am. I am definitely bullish longer term. But short to medium term, I think that's why I called it no man's land. It's a lot of sideways consolidation. Maybe we'll get some trending days, like here in the past where you could have gone short before we revert back to the uptrend. So I think you should have some strong opinions, lightly held. Keep an open mind. If you are day trading, perfectly fine. You can get in and out fast. If you are swing trading, keep the bigger, longer term structure in your mind. And of course, I tell you, I like to switch to lines to kind of remove the noise and mark my trends from there. And if I switch to lines and I move my higher support and resistance levels so they match up with these pivots, right? We get a tighter band, a tighter support and resistance level, and then we could get the middle of the range, which would be around here, right? Which lines up with this, kind of around here. That's what we would be looking at. Let's switch back to these levels. And what we want to see, at least in the shorter term, in the next few days, is okay, can we go and retest? We have a liquidity area here around those 4,600. Once we retest here, what will we do? Will we go and revert and go test the higher end of the range? Will we break out of there and then pull back and continue higher? We'll see. We'll see. Will this act as actual support? And then I'm totally wrong about us continuing and continuing to consolidate around here. We'll have to see. But I just want you guys to be cautious, zoom out, look at the chart longer term, and keep those things in mind, right? So this is my take on gold for now. Let us switch to our friend, sorry, oil. Now, we know the situation in the Middle East is very confusing right now. We know it has a direct impact on oil. We had the start, this is a daily chart, before before the issue in the Middle East, Epic Fury started here. We kind of really broke out and expanded the range here. We went from, oscillating about a point 76 a day to 4.80. And then now we have these huge ranges where we're really oscillating, almost dozens of points per day. We've kind of found somewhat of a support here around those 80s. And we know if oil turns bullish, means, if the price of oil rises, which is not great for us who use petrol in our cars, as oil goes up, equities go down. Now, we are at all-time highs in equities, so we need to keep that in mind. But we need to find out, okay, are we going to kind of push up, or are we going to continue to move sideways? And honestly, right now, it's a it's a toss up. You know, it's a toss up because it depends on what happens in the Middle East. And we have, like we have on gold and like we have on equities, just inversed. We have a gap here to fill as well. You know, right here we have this gap to fill. The half point of the gap has held, right? Which, if this was, you know, some stock or whatever, we would say, hey, this is bullish. We gapped up, we pulled back. Maybe we're not going to go and fill the lower end of the gap just yet. Maybe. But if we do pull back, touch those lows, are unable to hold the lows, we might just go and retest this level here. And if we do that in the next few days, well, this oil is literally going to be the fuel, no pun intended, for equities to kind of, as this pushes down, right, and goes retest these levels, that's going to be the fuel for equities to move higher. So these two assets, oil and gold, are the ones I am not really touching these days because it is a sideways price action, sideways consolidation. Now we're gonna switch to our friend, the Nasdaq, the Dow, and the ES. We're gonna take a look at it. Well, see, we just closed here, so this is what I'm talking about. Are we able to? So we push lower. We caught some liquidity here, and we're pulling back. So what we want to see is, okay, when we retest here, what do we do? All right, are we able to hold under this? And what you would need to see is some quick rejection for a short, or are we going to go, was this just a liquidity grab, and are we going to go and push and go, you know, retest either the mid range, or are we going to go and retest those prior highs right now in the short term? So we'll find out today what happens. For me personally, that is not an area where I will be trading gold. Let me just hold on. Let me put the volume in. I want to see what kind of volume we got. All right, so we got some increased volume here with that move, which is a good sign. If this, you know, is able to sustain. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And let's switch to our friend, the Dow Jones. I had a trade on the Dow that I'm still holding. I just want to see if we can go. So let's look at the Dow first, and then I'll switch to the Nasdaq and other things. So let me know, guys, in the chat if there are specific things you want me to see, if there are specific things you want me to analyze. I know GN Rhoda trades gold. We have somebody. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you told me you're learning to trade in gold, so you know, be careful there. Um, Honestly, when I started, I thought the ES was easier to trade than gold, but that's just my personal opinion. So right now, I took a short because I want to confirm whether or not my bullish thesis is going to play out. So we're gonna look at the Nasdaq, but I was looking at the Nasdaq earlier. We have a close, and we pushed above yesterday, so this is bullish. So what I want to see is, okay, can the Dow, since it was pulling back and the chart is cleaner than the other ones, can it become a leading indicator for me? And are we able to kind of, so we formed a high here, we have a structure, we're moving in a downtrend, we formed the lower high, right? And we're forming lower lows, at least on the short term in the 5 minute. So what I want to find out is, okay, can we break out of this? Once we retest these levels, can we go and reconquer those highs, or are we going to actually reject this area again, like we just did here, right? And, you know, wick out of there and then continue lower and really find our support, maybe continue our bearish structure here and really find our support around those pre-market in Asia and London level highs. That's what I want to find out with this trade. It is a very small trade where we're not risking much on it. So we'll find out if we're right or wrong. Yesterday we had a great trade on the Dow, and I have to say, trading with Samir, who only mainly trades the Dow, has kind of converted me into looking at other indexes. And yesterday, this was a great pattern formation. I still have the trade marked up yet. You can go look at yesterday's session. Nice. I can call you Bear. All right, I'll call you Bear. I really like to know how to pronounce that, though. I mean, uh, it's a beautiful script, and I like your bear icon, but I'll call you Bear, no problem. Um, yeah, so yesterday we had a great setup with Samir live. I'm just gonna go over it really quick. Let me go actually on the 1 minute. It's gonna be better and more precise for us to see the trade we took. We were very patient. We waited for the setup. Samir caught it. I agreed with his thesis and his analysis and took the trade with him. So yesterday, what we did live on air for everybody who was looking is we realized, okay, we were forming a rising wedge right here, and usually a rising wedge tends to be a bullish pattern, because previously we had our pole here. If we're considering this to be kind of a flag, we were in an uptrend and we were pushing up. And what technical analysis tells you is that you're supposed to break out of this, pull back, and continue higher. Or if it's really bullish, you won't even really pull back here, you'll continue higher. But guess what? You can't just rely on the pattern. You see the pattern, but you also have to analyze the structure of the price and the context in which we are in. Now, just looking at the pattern that did not suffice. We saw the pattern, but what else did we see? And I have it marked here: previous gap high. What did we do? We filled this gap right here, and then we were testing those resistance levels. So this top right here, Samir was looking at this top and this top, and we were saying, well, if we go and retest this, can we break above? Well, lo and behold, what happened? We tested one time, two times, three times, four times, five times. And I know a lot of technical analysts will tell you, if you test a level multiple times, if you have multiple touches, that means it's going to break. Well, guess what? That is not entirely true. What we did see is, hey, we're trying to break above this, but we're not. We're not breaking above this. And we saw the pattern. So we're like, well, if we see a failure, because if this is bullish, we should have follow through, right? The open was right here at let's see, 9:30. This is the open. Right around here, this is 10 o'clock. So we've been trying to break out of this level for half an hour, and we have not been able to do so. And while this was happening, we were looking at the other indexes, and they were moving sideways. They were not that very bullish, except for the ES. So the idea was what? We've been trying to break, we cannot break. Logically, we need a pullback before we break. So we entered short here right on this break. And live, I told you guys, okay, right after we break here, what do I expect? I expect us to retest here, right? And I made our little square with the level, and I expect us to pull back and go retest the low of this. If this is really bullish, this was just a liquidity grab, and we're going to go push higher, pull back, continue. But if that doesn't happen, well, that is a great opportunity for us to add to our short. And that is exactly what I did. We took two contracts on the way down here just because we didn't want it to run away from us. And then when it pulled back into this zone and kind of pulled back higher and went to retest these highs, because I'm sure some people had their bullish thesis on, we added to our contract. And I didn't catch this other top, but if I did, I would have added there again, because it was a great, that your risk was clear. It was right above those highs, and that's why I say stop above the highs. And then we pushed lower. As we pushed lower, my target was the halfway point of the range or VWAP. So we got a couple contracts out of there, and then we waited because we had our second target way down there, which we did grab really fast when the news came out. Now, as we were grabbing profits, we were managing our risk, because the main thing is for me is not profits, it's managing the risk. Keep the losers small. So as we're profiting, we're moving our stop. Let me just make this if this was my stop, I'll make it really bold and red, right? So the stop started way up here because we didn't have a lot of contracts. Then as we added, we kind of moved the stop in the area where we know made sense. So added here. And then once we added here, we were kind of, once we moved down here, sorry, we said, okay, we shouldn't go past these highs. So these highs were our stop. Once we took our profit here, we pulled back and we started to push lower again. Well, guess what? If we're really bearish, we should not move past higher than this, right? So then our last stop was here. Our entry was here. So we were completely in profit. We took out about 75% of the position on this move here, and then the rest here. And then we just waited. The news came out. We wigged back up. We tried to push lower, and then we reversed, and we got stopped out in profit. And the trade was over. Great trade. You guys could argue that maybe we should have taken, the rest of the position off here. Maybe we should have, but that's not what we did, and that's totally fine. And then what happened? Well, we completely reversed and went to the upside. So we're gonna keep on looking today and see, okay, what can we do? All right, very interesting take here. We are reverting to the upside. We went and tested VWAP. So we are more bullish than I anticipated. So my short thesis is invalidated. At this point in time, I do not have to wait for this to go and retest my stop here. I just got information that, hey, for the time being, you are wrong. So I'm just going to close my trade. We closed the trade for a tiny, tiny loss. We only lost 20 bucks for information. So we are fine. Now we wait and see, okay, is this a truly bullish move, and can we continue further to the upside? So that was the Dow. We're using this as a guide on how to kind of approach the market today. But let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat what you're looking at. Don't be shy. This show is for you. It is for me to analyze the charts and show you my approach and kind of guide you as much as possible. Now we're going to go and check the other assets. So we are in a very interesting spot here on the ES. I should have the MES up, but I guess we're going to trade because... All right, we'll keep the MES here, but we'll do our analysis on the ES. All right, so let's just zoom down to lower time frame. So we're seeing a similar formation that we had yesterday. We have our main trend going up here, and then we formed a secondary trend in the pre-market, pulled back, and then just oscillated upwards yesterday. So we want to see, okay, what are we going to do the same thing here? And we're already at what I would consider, a buying zone. But it's right before the market open, so I'm not gonna get into that trade right now because this could be whippy. I don't know. I don't want to get whipsawed out. We'll wait and see what happens. Now, let me just add a little bit of a line here just to show you where we're at. So we are, the meat of the trend is these two solid yellow lines here, right? Let me get this out of the way. Maybe I could show this on a, you know what? Let me put a line chart. This way it removes kind of the all of the candles, and you can see this more clearly. So we have the trend clearly with our white line right now, right? This is our trend. This is the speed at which price is moving. Now, price tried to go out of this trend yesterday and go retest the gap, and then we fell back in and then continued our trend. And then we formed the top here. We were bought again at the bottom of the trend, and then we retested those highs. So we were still inside this trend up until right now. Now, we are moving down and testing the lower end of this trend. Now you don't see it here, but using the candles. By the way, the market has just opened, so we want to see what happens. What I want to see now is, okay, can we sustain this trend? So can we really find bottoms here and go and revert back into this channel and continue our move upwards, or on the contrary, are we going to down there, go and retest those highs, which would be right underneath VWAP. Let me show you here. Oh, we're moving downwards. We're moving downwards. So my Dow trade probably would have worked out. Yep, there you go. So I exited too early. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It's a small loss. So right now, what are we doing? We're selling off. No problem. We're selling off. Now the question to ask yourself is, we're selling off. Is this a liquidity grab, or are we going to revert back to the upside? What do we want to see if we're going to revert back to the upside? Well, this is your area of interest right now. And I have that yellow line is, can we hold those 7150s, right? The 7150 yesterday was the gamma exposure level, right? So are we going to flip this level or not? If we do flip this level, well, all you're looking for is a pullback to enter. So now we're clearly breaking out of the trend, right? This is a great setup. It would have been great to catch it earlier, right? On the break, or at around what would have been 8:30 a.m. for me. But we did not catch that. So we're going to wait and see what happens and see, okay, can we continue to the downside? And if we do, that is no problem. We don't need to rush. We don't need to dive in and kind of, enter here and not manage our risk correctly. We're going to wait for the opening range to form on the ES and on the NQ. I'm going to look at the NQ in a few and decide where we can enter and exit. Now, let me just rotate to the NQ really quick. Guess what we're doing? Look at the daily chart. We're starting from the daily. We had this candle here. Okay, very strong, powerful candle. That was on the 17th. So 17th was Friday. And then on Monday, we formed an inside bar. We had an inside day. So consolidation day. Now we tried and break out of that area, and we're reverting back to the upside. So a question to ask yourself, and that's what we're going to do, is, are we going to be able to sustain those highs and turn bullish, or are we going to go and retest the middle of yesterday's candle, which would line up with the middle of this inside bar there? Or are we just going to trade inside this range all day? We'll have to see, and the price will have to tell us what to do. Now, if I zoom in, I don't have it traced here, but we have somewhat of a similar pattern formation in the Nasdaq, right? And that's why it's good to look at multiple assets, because they will kind of show you what other assets are not. So, for example, for the Qs, for the Nasdaq, we're still inside of the trend, right? So, if we can hold these levels, which is basically the middle of the Nasdaq's gap, well, we could totally turn bullish and revert back to the upside. So we'll see if that can happen or not, and we'll determine where to take our level. So the level of interest for me would be around this this blue line here. Unfortunately, I don't have my volume profile on this, so I'll switch to it on TradingView to kind of determine, okay, can we sustain this, and is this going to act as support? What we would need to see is one reversion and then a retest, and then on the second one we might enter and go and see if we could follow through to the upside. Now, if we're going to have a day like yesterday where we're kind of zigzagging all day, you are going to have to be really patient, depending on how you trade, of course. If you're a micro scalper and you're holding positions for 30 seconds or less, that is totally fine. You can do that. Me, on the other hand, I want to hold my positions for at least, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or likely a few hours, because that's where I can really print money. So we'll see if we can get that. We're only 5 minutes into the open. So let's see what we get. I want to see what the opening range shows us, what kind of trades can develop, and then from there, we'll determine what we do. Let me rotate back to gold. And then let's zoom in on a intraday chart. Let me look at, there we go. This is gold. Where are we? All right. So I said no man's land. All right. This is starting to look like the short setup we talked about. We pull back, we retested those levels, and we are showing a tendency to possibly move down to the downside. So can we get a second candle there? If we can get a second candle there, then we might possibly be able to follow through to the downside. Let me look at this on the micros. Let's see if this risk makes sense. We could possibly risk those prior highs. So we'll give it a little bit of time. I'm not really interested in that trade, but we'll see. If it does make sense, we'll take it. If not, then we'll kind of try to find a setup on the Qs. All right, so now you see, we're seeing some buying action here at the bottom of the range. So what we want to see is, can this hold and can this turn bullish? So we'll determine in a few what happens. All right, very good. Whoa. You guys were able to see my software there. And I have to say, full disclosure, why does this keep popping out? I was short the Qs and the YM this morning, and my trade worked out on the Qs. So now we have to see what happens. So I shorted at around, let me look at my other platform right here, because I also trade my personal account. Let's look at the executions. Just 1 second, guys. All right, 26,826 is where we shorted. Where's the execution? All right, right there, 26,826. All right, so 26,826 around here is where I shorted. Was it? What time was it? 8:38. All right, so at 8:38, right here is where I shorted, and I was targeting those lows. So we got that trade on the Nasdaq. All right, hey, Jen Road, I think you probably got the same trade or a similar trade, or maybe you shorted on the open. So good on you, as usual. You deserve an applause. Good on you. You've been printing since yesterday. You took that gold trade yesterday for a profit, and now you're trading the indices. So awesome, man. Good, 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 good. I like to hear that. I want everybody on the chat to win. Bear, let me know. Did you take a trade? What are you looking at? I know you were talking about trading gold. Like I'm saying right now, I am not seeing what I want to see on gold. Yep, you see, gold is not behaving the way I want it to behave in order for me to take a trade. Where is it? Let's go to the weekly analysis. You see, so what I wanted for the short, and that's why I said I want to wait for another candle, is if we are moving and we're going to go and retest those lows, that next candle here should have closed lower, and we possibly could have entered a short, risking those prior highs. But right now, we're back inside what for me is no man's land. You are welcome to try any type of trade you want in there, but right now, for me, I am not going to touch this. And I might be wrong. This might go to the moon, but this is not for me right now. Jan Rhoda took the open down. Nice, nice, nice. I can see you're you're an aggressive trader, so that's good. That's good. You're taking those aggressive trades here. So let's see what happens on the Nasdaq. I'm gonna give this the first 15 minutes, and we'll decide where to trade it and how to trade it. Basically, I want much more confirmation before I take the trade I take. So on the YM, so we got a fake breakout there and reverted back to the upside, but we are seeing some buying on the asset. So let's see what that let's see what that shows us. I have a little indicator I use just to look at the opening ranges. So I'm going to open that on the on TradingView. Let me look at the volume. Okay, so we're right above the point of control. So highest volume traded is right here. Let's look at the ES. Where is our point of control? Okay, right before the drop. Let's look at the NQ. Interesting. So we are in let me look at it from the Asia session. So this is just showing me the volume that's been traded throughout all three sessions. And we are taking those we took out this low volume area here, and we're going to retest those levels. So we'll see what happens. Again, like yesterday, I am being patient. I am not being like Gian wrote. I was taking those shorts, but good on you, at least on this account, because you have to understand that this 25K account, it only allows for now, until I can grow the account and create a bigger buffer, only allows for a 3% drawdown. So on 25K, that's $750. So that if you're risking, for example, $100 per trade, you only have 7 shots before you blow the account. So that's why we're taking this very slow. I'm being very careful here with the trades and taking things that really make sense. It's a funded account. We passed the challenge. What was it, last week? So we're just taking it slow. We're not in a hurry to get this thing going with trades that are not A+ setups, right? Yesterday's trade was as A+ as it gets, so that's why we took it. All right, we're seeing some buying right now on the Nasdaq. Interesting that we're seeing buying on the Nasdaq while we are seeing highs get tested on the Dow. Let me see what the ES is doing. All right. ES is behaving like the Nasdaq, and guess what? We are finding support at the level we talked about. So that is perfectly fine. What we want to see is, okay, is this going to be buying a pullback and we continue or no? So I'm just giving this time to show me what it wants to do, right? 15 minutes have not developed yet. We have our opening range, but we don't have the full details yet. So for now, I like to use those yellow boxes to see what the opening range is. So on the ES, our opening range is going to be here, this 930. We're right below VWAP. So let's look at what the opening range is. I'll call this ORB. Or actually, no, opening range. So OR. Why is this not writing correctly? All right, OR. All right, and then we have the halfway point of the opening range where we are right now. We are right below it. Let me put this like this. All right, we're right below. Well, oh, come on. This is a fat finger mistake, guys. I didn't mean to do that. You know what? sometimes I fat finger things and they work out. So just for the fun of it, just for the heck of it, we're gonna let it run and see. But that is not a setup that I would normally take. Just for the fun of it, we'll let this run. Oh, this is the ES. I need to control my risk. You know what? Let's not play around. All right. Funny win there. But so when you press shift and you click on the platform, it gets you into a trade. So I pressed shift to keep my line right, and then I clicked by accident and got into a long. So fortunately, I got I got out of there because that did not make sense. So be careful with your fat fingers there. Don't be like me. All right, so this is the opening range, and we are right in the middle there, right? Retesting this, so we want to see, okay, is this going to act as resistance, and can we push a lower, or are they going to be able to buy this, and are we going to revert back to the upside? So we're going to see. It's good that we are in this 50% here. Let's just zoom out and kind of see where we are at on the overall trend. Okay, so on the overall trend, guess what? We broke out of the trend, and now we are going and retesting the middle of the range here. So let me just show you. You're probably going to see it better here with the indicator. Let's go in the NQ. Let's put it on 1 minute. All right. So our range are these two blue lines here, right? And a possible setup could be to buy it, like we just said, because we're at the bottom of the range for a retest of those highs, right? That could be a possible setup if we're able to sustain it. Let me just go see if this makes sense risk-wise on the Qs. This is a possible setup. So we'll take that one and we'll see if it makes sense. Because we could go and retest the highs. Let me go check out gold since Bear is asking about it, and then we'll go back on the Nasdaq. So we're risking those prior lows here and going for a 2-to-1 trade for a retest of those highs. So basically the high of the range. So we'll see what happens there. We are in the trade. Let's see. Let's look at gold. Let me look here. Okay, so we are still inside this range, Bear. So for me, again, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a trap, and this is my personal opinion. What makes sense right now? What am I seeing? I am seeing that we did pull back, we tested liquidity here, and then we ran back to the upside. But you have to be aware that right here we had some hesitation, right? The closest part of this story yesterday, Samir was talking about how you need to look at this, like it's a story. What story is the price telling you? Right now, we're testing those highs. So I would not go long here. I would wait. What do I want to see to go long? I want to see two things, two possibilities. I want to decisively, and this is the more bullish case, I want to decisively break out of there. So go higher than this. I want to pull back. And if we hold it here, which means holding means what? Holding means on the pullback, you get maybe 3, 4, 5 candles that are small and controlled. And as you pull back, so maybe let me look at an example for you. This is an example of a controlled pullback. This is an example of a controlled pullback right? You don't want to see something where you're pulling and then this candle is bigger and then this candle gets bigger and then this candle gets bigger. You don't necessarily want to see that. And then your reversal candle would look something like either this or this, where you have an increase in volume and then you have a wick down. That could be your reversal candle. And then you could enter on the open of the next green candle, right? That's what I would want to see for a continuation long. That is the very bullish case. And that's not what we're seeing now. You see, I told you we might see some sell off here, and that's what's happening. We got to this level of resistance, which is the next logical level. And so far, this might change. We're seeing a pullback. So let's see. Now, if we don't get the formation I just showed you, so breakout, pullback, continuation higher, what else do you want to see to go long? Well, what you want to see to go long is we retested this level, right? We pull back and we need to hold around above this zone right here, right? And as we hold above this zone, again, you need this to be a slow, steady pullback. Maybe it's the middle of the range. Maybe if it holds higher, if it holds maybe here, higher here, then you could probably take the trade. Now, once you take this trade, you need to be aware of the previous high. You need to confirm, are we breaking above this high or not? So that's what I would do. I would wait for a pullback before entering any longs on gold for now. Okay, I would be patient. Let's go back to the Nasdaq. Let's look at what our trade is doing. All right, so far we're holding above the highs. Let me just look at something right now. We are retesting the middle of the range. So we are moving sideways here. Let's just see and see what we get. Yeah, you have, here's the thing with gold, and this is a reason why I don't really day trade gold as much, is that it's an asset where you have to be really patient. You have to wait for the setups to come to you, right? Some people like to call it the widow maker because it destroys guys. You sometimes are in a trade and then it wicks you out. The Nasdaq likes to do that sometimes as well. You want to be really patient on gold, right? So wait for the setup. If you're gonna go long, wait for a pullback, and then you'll get your setup. I don't know if you're, since you said you're learning, I don't know if you know, and if you go short, maybe going short is the opportunity right now. So we'll see what happens. All right, so far our Nasdaq trade is looking okay. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we can get follow through. This will be a quick 2-to-1 at those prior resistance levels right here. Let's see if we can get it. We'll go and retest VWAP. Maybe we'll get the rejection sooner than expected. So I have two things here. Two things are going to happen. I'm either going to get my take profit or I'm going to get out of the trade before 10 o'clock. Now, right now, I don't really care about the profit, whether I make them or not. What I care about is managing my risk, right? So as we start moving up, and this is the open, things move and shift fast, all I'm going to do is trail my stop loss. And I'm just going to trail it to the prior bar lows, right? This is not this is a scalp. This is not a trade I'm looking to hold too long. If it was a longer hold, then I would have added contracts. I would have taken one out or two out, depending on how many contracts I had, because this is, for now, this is not an A plus setup for me. This is a quick scalp to make some quick profit. We're in, we're out, and we're done. So we'll see what happens. And we don't want to let this positive trade turn into a negative trade or too much of a negative trade. That's why we don't need to risk too much on it. Now we've reached the high of the range, right? So this is an area where logically people are going to take profit. Now, of course, it could blast out of there and leave me behind, but that was not my original plan for the trade. So it'll do what it does. I'm sticking to the plan. I'm sticking to what I had in mind when I originally took the trade. And honestly, if I was going to go short, I would probably start shorting around the range highs. Let me just look at the range here. The range high is 26,826. So let me look at 26,826 on this. 26,826. So the range high is right around, right above here, this level. But I want to get, actually, they're anticipating and they've started to short. So we have a little inside trend here. We want to see, okay, can we hold this trend? Can we continue to move higher? The range high would be 26,826. All right, so maybe we'll see if we could get this. But my stop is 10 o'clock or we reach this area here. All right. Let's see. So we have a little trend going. Let's see if we could keep this trend going. And if I see a huge increase of volume here, I'll probably trail this a little bit more. So let's see what we can get. All right, let's trail this with 2-minute bars. So let's add a 2-minute time frame just so we have a little bit less noise. Click OK. And we'll continue to trail this with 2-minute bars. So we're trailing the prior closes, the prior lows. We're about 4 minutes from 10 o'clock. So you see it's entering that resistance area I talked about. And that's more or less where I want to be out. We are exactly where our stop was before. Let me just put this with points so I can see clearly. We were looking for a 50-point trade. We are at 50 points now. So let's just trail this and see how much we can get out of it. All right, this is reverting. Let's keep going. Maybe let's just see if we can go and retest the, I didn't see the wick there. I just want to see, okay, can we go retest this wick up there? And then we'll trail the lows of the 2-minute bars. And I expect to see some selling there. It hit the 5-minute down order block. Yeah, we're getting close to it. We're getting close. I just want to see, can I get a little push and can we get this little wick there, or am I just going to get stopped out? If we get stopped out, it's totally fine. Then we wait. I wait for 10 o'clock to happen. We wait for the price action to kind of show us its hand, because we had a sharp move down and we had a sharp move up. So we're just trailing and we'll just get whatever the asset is willing to give us, right? I honestly expect to be stopped out very soon. It's going to be either I get stopped out now or I get stopped out around 10 o'clock, and we'll just keep trailing this as the asset moves up and see if we can get maybe a little bit more out of it. If we get it, great. If we don't, it's fine. So here we are already where my initial take profit was. So great there. And we're just trailing this up to see how much we can get. And I expect a reversal to happen right around 10 o'clock. So we touched the highs. All right, we got stopped out as expected, and now we wait. Now this might fly and continue up, but this was a quick scalp for me. That was the trade we were looking for. I'll revert back to the 1 minute, and now we reevaluate. Now we might get an A+ setup if we break out of this morning's range, right? So we want to see. So Jan Rhoda was talking about the 5-minute order block. Indeed, we recovered here, so that's a good sign, at least for the bulls, right? We are getting back to those highs. So what we want to see is, can we continue higher? Can we pull back and continue to push? So let's just look at some other assets. We're going to start with the Dow. Oh man, look at how the Dow has taken off. Nice. This is nice. All right, so the Dow is kind of the leading indicator now for the bulls. This is great. Now we can go and look at, let me just go one by one here. Let's look at gold. All right, Bear, you see what I was talking about this morning? We got to this resistance levels and then we pushed lower. And this is not really the type of pullback that I want to see. This is not what I would call a slow and controlled pullback, right? If we were getting a slow and controlled pullback, what I would be looking at is, okay, we get maybe one candle like this, and then we get another candle like this, and we kind of stair step down, right, to the prior lows. And then once we get lower, we would probably get one last candle here with a wick. So let me put a bar. So we would get maybe a wick like that. Whoa, man, I keep I keep fat fingering. Let me try not to do that. All right, so we would get some kind of candle like this. Let me zoom in. Why won't this? Do I have a magnet? Anyways, you see what I mean. And then the volume would increase here, and you would probably want to buy this area. So let's see if this can be sustained though. Oh, this is a 5-minute chart. Sorry, I thought this was a 1 minute. Oh, okay. It looks much better on the 1 minute. Sorry, I thought I was on the 1 minute. This looks much better. This looks controlled. This is a nice pullback. We've retested this level. So this is actually looking interesting for an entry, for a possible long, to go and retest the prior highs. So yeah, this is looking interesting. This is the controlled type of pullback I was looking at, right? So you want to see, okay, can this candle close maybe above here? And then you probably want to enter your long. Let me see if I could. Let me see if I could. Maybe today is the day we take a gold trade. Let's wait. You want to see if the next candle can follow through. If not, that means the pullback is not done yet. Maybe this is not the support level and it's lower here. We did get the increase in volume, right? But we didn't get much volume here on gold. So we want that volume increase to continue to continue to be bullish. So we'll see what we get. Now I hear my doorbell and my air horn ringing at the same time. It must mean that Airplane Jane is in the house. Whoa, I can't hear you. Still can't hear you. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can. All right. All right, guys. Let me wait for Jane to get set up here. Not yet. Not yet. All right. So, by the way, Bear, while Jane gets set up, this is what I was talking about. You wanted this candle to close above this one to enter your trade. So this pullback is not done yet. We have to wait. Let's look at the Qs. Qs are kind of doing what we want to see them do. We retested those highs, which is good. So Jane, usually you can go into your settings. Yes. Loud and clear. Nice, nice, nice.
Just getting set up with the other screen. Definitely watching the Qs today. Oh my goodness. Sorry, NQ. Flip it on over.
NQ, I call
So
it the
let me go
Qs.
micro NQ.
No problem.
Yeah, micro.
We're
Let's go
looking.
current.
We're looking at
Okay,
the Qs.
let's
We've had a
pop this
lot of
over
requests
here.
for
See.
for gold as well. So I've been looking at gold. I've been looking at the
Okay.
NQ. And then, you know, we're
We'll
talking
check
about
it out.
trading
We'll check
all-time
it out.
highs. So I definitely
Oh
want your
yeah, let's go.
opinion on how you
I'm
approach
gonna go
it.
in on a little NQ mini here. Boom.
Okay, you're going in. Let me add you 1 second. Let me second. Let's
No
add
worries, no
Jane.
worries.
She's in. All right. Just, you know,
On a 5
all
minute.
gas, no brakes today.
That's right. I was trading car. I don't know if you saw car or anything about that.
No, what's going
So
on with car? I do not look at stocks at all.
okay.
I'm just how do you call those veterans that have PTSD? So I just invest in a few names that I believe in long term, you know, that I'm gonna hold
Okay.
for, I don't know, 10, 20
You're like a
years.
long dinosaur holder.
And
Okay.
then, yeah, maybe you guys will convince me to go back to the dark side. I don't know. But for now, we're just dealing with those futures here. I don't want to go look at SEC filings. I don't want to look at floats. I don't want to look at you know,
I
the
think I'm about to get
average
stopped out here.
volume and stuff. All right, we're looking good here.
No, I think I'm gonna get stopped out, I think. I want to put it just above our little Camarilla right here, where we had a little wick right there. Okay,
Let's see.
so what am I seeing? Why am I interested? Let me turn off the trade the pool in the background over here from the live stream back there. Okay, perfect. So what am I looking at for the reasoning to get into the short on the Qs? So I'm going to bring up my other chart. I'm going to pop it over because you know me. I love to look at that bigger money on the other platforms. But now I'm seeing, you know what? I'm gonna invert my position. Yep,
Yeah, I'm looking to flip
I'm
my
doing it.
bias here.
Invert, add OCO. Okay. I already have one. Perfect. Let's just go like this. Oh, there we go. All right, let's bring this back down here. And hey, okay. Boom. Ain't it great to be crazy? Boom, boom. Just kidding. All right, there we go. So we'll set it up a little $47 loss, but this is what I'm looking at, and I'm pulling it over to the screen. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes, I could definitely
All
see
right.
it.
Looks busy, right? But what I'm paying attention to is this pink line right here from April. They had their bigger money level here. This is SQQ, again, the inverse. So when this
Okay.
drops, we see that the stock market rises, right? So right now we see that it dropped down. Well, it dropped. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go here,
By the way, for those who don't know, the
here,
Qs are the equivalent of the NQ,
and
and
Q.
what Jane is looking at is the inverse. So basically, um,
I'm going to
it's
put it up so you
inversely
can see the.
correlated to the NQ. So as the SQQ goes down, the NQ should
I'm
go
going to
up.
show you. Yeah, I'm going to show you on the charts so that you guys will understand that the correlation is reversed. All right, so we have over here, let's look at April 1st. Let's zoom in to April 1st-ish over here. Let's remove my fib level. Bye-bye. And let's come over here. So we can see, is this pretty clear for you? That here we hit the 200 exponential on the SQQQ, right? And then let's pull it on over. We got that working in the background to the upside. I like to see the green numbers going up while we're doing the analysis.
Always
All
a
right,
good
so
thing.
both a 24-hour chart, right? So we see that SQQQ, when we hit the 200 exponential here on the 27th of March. I don't know why I said 25th. 27th of March, correlation exactly the top on the SQQ and the bottom on QQQ. So when we see that they are selling the SQQQ, that means they are buying the QQQ.
Yep.
NQ would be the same price action usually to QQQ unless they're manipulating it, right? So we see that the big money from April 1st for QQQ is still down here at, let me just, it's
It's around
611.
608 or
No,
611.
hold
Yeah.
on. Negative, hold on. 583.57 down there. Down here, 583.57. So for now, we're still in the upward mode. We see that they have shifted their position. Now, we do have Trump talking about the ceasefire tomorrow. That is the 10-day or 2-week deadline. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, we're going to have a ceasefire.
Every
Why not
day is
just have it
something
today?
different. Yeah.
So right now, we can see that if we were to potentially go above this 56.62, then we're likely going to have a further short. So if it goes like this, let me draw on it. If it goes like this, whoop, because they work in opposite motion, we would anticipate it to go like this.
Yeah, we
Right?
would get a pullback in equities, and I have to say, this recovery is the most, if not one of the most, one of the fastest recoveries in market history. I mean, you're talking green days after green days, huge prints both on the ES and the Nasdaq. So I would say a pullback is expected. Now, how fast? I don't know. You were
Well,
mentioning
that's
Jesse Livermore's book the other day, where it's like, you could buy the top because it'll continue a little bit higher. We'll
right.
see. We'll see what we get.
Well, that's why I'm pulling this up, not for anybody here to trade it, but just to show you that it can go up with a short squeeze until
Yep.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
So
of
you
course.
don't want to be trying to pick the top. You want to have the confirmation. So, hey, I saw that earlier today, this was 56.80. They've moved it to 56.62 for the Qs. So you don't want to be stuck in a short squeeze. Oh, we actually have a doorbell at our house.
Go ahead.
You
If you
don't
have
want to
to
be,
go take
it's
it.
all good. It's all good. My husband's
Okay.
getting it, so it's all good.
Nice.
It was just funny because I'm used to hearing it in my headphones and not at the house. So you don't want to be stuck on a short squeeze because the short squeeze, what is the potential top, Dave, for a short squeeze? In theory,
Infinity.
infinity, right?
Yeah, I learned
Going
that the hard
long,
way.
you
It's
have a
infinity.
measured risk, right? So going long, you have a measured risk where the worst case scenario is it goes to zero, but usually people are going to buy into it.
Of
So
course.
be careful. So the long side trade is working better, right?
Yeah,
Because they are long. Now,
exactly. They are long. I think a lot of people have, what I try to do is try to think, okay, what is the psychology here? What is going on? And of course, the market's battling it out. And right now, these are short-term trades. But if we're zooming out and looking at, daily charts and stuff like that, what I'm thinking is, okay, the market is trying to figure out what the situation in Hormuz is going to be, but the market
mhm.
being forward looking, the numbers that have come out haven't been so disappointing. We've had this rally. There's probably a lot of FOMO going on. We have people who think, the perma bears thinking this should go down, who are probably piling in short. So I think personally, we could continue and see somewhat of a continued uptrend, even if we get somewhat of a sideways consolidation for a few days. But I think we're probably going to print some more green days before we revert back, unless, of course, the political backdrop, our friend President Trump tweets something, and we get something. So, oh, I see you're pulling up Warsh.
Yes. So Warsh is testifying. Let's see. They should have had this posted now. Typically, they will post it right over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to you in chat because I don't know how to add it to the chat. So I will give it to you to add to the chat.
No
But
problem.
this
Let's do
is going to
that.
be where you can find the speech. Now, it's not up yet, but they will always put the speeches and testimony up. Then you can take, hey, Claude AI or Chat GPT? Give me an analysis of this, please. Analysis
Yes.
of it and let us know. Pending home sales probably won't do anything, but this is
Probably not.
the red folder in the
Red
room.
folder.
Yeah. And so you want to be aware that when we have these volatile things happening, you could see a flip plus that was starting at 10 o'clock. We had this nice upward move. Now, maybe let's go ahead, let's sell one. Why? Because we're in that 10 o'clock. Oh, am I going to regret this? The 10 o'clock rotation, right?
Yeah, we're in that 10 o'clock window.
Is it going to go up till 10:15? Maybe, probably. All right, I'm going to invert it again because I think
We'll
you're going to go
see.
up until 10:15. There you
We
go.
have Gian Rhoda asking what time frames are these? Well, Jane is
These
bouncing
are my
from
customs.
various time frames. Yeah, this is 3 minutes, and Jane has some secret numbers that she
I like the
uses.
45.
There we
Yes,
go.
yes. So the 45 is good. I also have my 33 exponential right over here. You know what I have really found, because I've turned into a degenerate, is I found that on the 1 minute chart, look at how it respects that 33.
Yeah.
And it really will bounce off of it. This is a 200 exponential. Also, let me throw on another one over here. I'm not even sure if I can. No, I don't have the ability to throw on anymore. But the 425 on the 1 minute, killer. I follow it over on my trading view one.
425, really?
425.
Man, you
Yeah, let me
have
see if I can get
those.
it's because I've been curious, right? Okay, here
Of
we go.
course, go all in.
Let me
Try
look at it.
anything that makes sense to you, and explore. But I really like that you're trying out numbers that I rarely hear. So that's great. And then you're saying you're turning into DGen. So it's not going to be airplane Jane anymore. Is it going to be DGen Jane?
DJ and Jane, as
Yes,
opposed
I
to
like it.
DJ Jane.
DJ,
DGen.
no, no DJs.
All right. So on this one, the 425, not as much. Hold on. Let's see. Let's play around with different time frames. I can take certain things off. But this is the 1 minute, right? So this is the 1 minute. Okay, here it bounced off of the 161, 161. This is the 425. First test, it bounced, hit the 90 and the 100, came down. What's this purple one?
I'm amazed at how you can remember which color is which.
I also have a cheat sheet. I have a little legend. And then, no, this is the
Okay.
425. So this is the 425. So what's this one? Purple 222 or 336. 336 is that one.
Nice.
So now
Nice,
it's just,
nice.
hey, we're moving on up. No stress over here on it. Let's see as well and the reason why I also have trading view, we're hitting 650.22 over there. Are we hitting one over here? Not just yet, but you can see, hey, it almost hit it here. Why did it stop in plain sight, right? On NQ.
Yeah, well, there's different approaches to it. I would say it's
Now
probably
it's going to
because
reverse.
it's reached it's reached that pre-market high. We've just tested that resistance here, so we'll see. But you definitely have your pivot levels here in yellow, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So it hit
Pivots and Camarillas.
a pivot in Camarilla, and we know that pit traders used to use those pivots consistently, and these come into play regularly. We've shown it multiple times on the show here. But just to touch back on trading all-time highs, what is
Mhm.
your approach to that? Very short term, so maybe not on a daily, it doesn't really matter as much, but on a more medium to long term, if you approach it like that, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm going to see where is that bigger money, right? Are they still well below, or are they repositioning and looking to sell out higher?
Okay.
Because if I start to see, if we go sideways, then, if we go sideways for 5 days, That's 5 days of positioning,
Yeah,
right? So
of course.
if we are going sideways for 5 days, well, then I need to be careful that it could be a massive move against me. So the stops will be a bit tighter, right? I just moved my stop down over here. Why? Because I'm still seeing that the buying is going on
Yeah,
for
the
the
buying is
Q.
pretty sustained. They've tried to reject it fast, but we didn't get a fast down move on increased volume. So let's see what we get.
Right. So
This
I'm
is
seeing that the bigger money is still down here at 647.19. They have not fully switched it yet. Did we test a former level of the day? Yes. They sold
yeah.
it here earlier and they have not fully, maybe they're going to bring it all the way back down to where they purchased, but likely they just want to take out my stop. There you go.
They're just looking looking for Degen Jane. But yeah, I think this is just also logical from a day trade perspective. If I'm not even considering the bigger money from a day trade perspective, we've moved, what is it, 153 points, and we're right below that pre-market level. This is a logical area where people would want to take profit. So what I would be looking at is, okay, when we get to the halfway point of that, so 50% off, can we get more people to come into the store and take advantage of that discount? Do they want to buy the product again? The product being the NQ right now. So if we get buying, we will go retest this higher level. So we will see what happens. Now, we've gotten a lot of requests for our opinions on gold. We ran a survey and
Oh, yes.
everybody's like, gold, 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 gold. And I really want to see what you're thinking, because I've been looking at it strictly.
Short.
I stripped all the political backdrop. I just looked at it strictly on a technical level, and I saw some interesting things. Now, before I pollute your mind with my opinion, I want to see what you're thinking.
All right. So GLL, the gold inverse ETF, right? We can see that they never really sold it up here. But again, this is like SQQQ. We are going to see that GC,
Yeah, GC.
gold
Take the
futures,
GCFUT because it's the
perpetual.
permanent one. This way you'll get all the historical pricing.
Okay. So let's put this on a daily. Let's add 1D
Look at you
there.
just knowing
All right.
everything now. I remember when you
So
were finding
I know,
whatever.
right?
Yeah.
So let's get a rectangle. Rectangle. Let's see, where's a rectangle?
All the way down.
Down here.
Yep.
There. Okay, so what I'm seeing, I don't know if you're seeing this, but I'm seeing that pretty much from here to here. Oh, I want to fill this in. Will it fill in for me?
Yeah, click on settings on all the way to the right. And then background.
Background. Perfect. I don't
Then
want it
apply.
white.
Oh, you could change the color.
There we go. Okay, that's good. Okay, so since this date,
You
1,
would
2,
hover
3,
in the
4,
middle.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 days, right? So for 14 days, we are going where?
Nowhere.
Is it a good time to get in when you're in the box?
That's what I was talking about this morning.
No, it's not. Even I could pull this down over here to this right here because we want to make sure that we get outside of the box. And I'm going to look at the candles for the bodies of the candles. But this was a doji day. So yeah, a little doji reversal, moved up. We got a bit of a death wick, still came up. We're going sideways. So can we go to timing? I'm looking for price and time.
Like
Insert
TPO?
price in it. No, I'm looking for, let me just do it up here because I want to do a 3-day. Why? I love threes, right? I love the threes. You're able to see really consolidate it down. How many
Yeah.
times? Okay, so we went sideways here inside this candle, inside, 15 days, 5 candles times 3, 15 days, boom. Once we
Yep.
fell outside of that, we failed. So if we either go above over here, we're also kind of right in the middle of the pivots. Let's go into our settings here and let's go to our levels. And that's not it. Appearance, pivot appearance. I want to have the pivot line as white. Let's see if this will do it for me as the middle. Or is this just the upper?
You
Okay,
said the
there's the
pivot.
pivot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's our pivot line right there. 1, 2, 3. And then I've also got the Camarillas on. So yeah. So we have, sorry, too big. The white pivots right here in the middle. No, that's upper and lower. That's not helping me. Oh, pivot is 47617. So those are the advancing and declining ones right there. 4797. So if we're below that, the pivot is that pivot point that the floor traders typically use for changing direction. If we open below that, it will usually be a down day. So our pivot for today is 4797. So we are just below that. So right now, I would anticipate this to be more of a red day based off of that information. Is it 100% going to be red all the time? No. There's no guarantees in trading except for whatever market you're trading is always right. So looking at it right now, we're starting to see that the moving averages are starting to come back down. Typically, I will see a bigger rotation to the downside when I see the 4 cross over that 8 EMA. All right. So when we have that 4-8 crossover on the daily, then it could go down. Also, what was it that, here we go, the dollar index. Oh, yeah. So the dollar index, they did sell it up here. What have they done recently? For the dollar, they came down and they bought down at 98.23, I want to say it is. Hold on, let me grab my Excel spreadsheet here. 97.92. So let's go on one of these. Let's go 97.92. Appearance, position, 97.923. So as long as we see that the money is above, what does that typically say to a commodity price? Yes, inverse relationship, like we were looking at SQQ and also GLL and ZSL. So that reminds me, I need to get out of my silver longs because I'm seeing that they're buying. So I need to get out of my silver longs. I mentioned it earlier. I was waiting for a bounce. So let's see. We had a bit of a bounce and it should. Okay. I've been busy this morning, so I forgot.
No problem.
But seeing that they did just flip it, if they're right here and they're going to move it up, actually the fact that it pulled back down towards that price is better for me. That means that the price of silver should be going up. Theoretically, if it's going to trade in the right direction. So right now we have buying wicks on the dollar against, I found it's 57% the euro. Did I give you guys this? Hold on. I can grab the link or the image. Here it is. So I'm going to pull this over. This is also mine. If you want to follow it too, David, you can. I've got a school community for traders. So the DXY breakdown is 57. This is all against the dollar, right? So the biggest currency against the dollar to be measured in the DXY is 57% euro. Then we have the yen, the pound, the Canadian dollar, the Swedish krona, and the Swiss franc. So for precious metals, it is important to understand the relationship here. And there's the image, right? So you've got it where it's important to understand what's going on with the euro against the US, and that's going to be your primary measurement for the DXY. And so when we start to see this is dropping, that means the euro is rising in value.
Hmm.
In general, for those Forex traders, I don't trade Forex. Never have. Did you ever get into Forex?
No, this is the one thing I
Never.
haven't touched, actually. I've touched everything except Forex. So I don't know. Maybe it'll convince me, but not yet.
Right. So right now, starting to see that the short side, we're above the levels, and the bear side, we are, excuse me, on the dollar, they're buying the dollar. So that would make it be the inverse, right? Gold would go
Yep.
down, dollar would go up, and GLL would go up because that's the bear version. So looking at that, all of that leads us to believe, hey, let's potentially see that bigger move for gold. Oh, I don't want to get out of that. I'll just pull it over here. We don't want to jump into the gold trade until it is confirmed. Right? We're in the box.
Yeah.
It's like a little toddler. You can play in the box, but you're not going to go anywhere, right?
Yeah,
You're in the
exactly.
little baby pen.
Yeah. You're in
You
that
want
you're in that
freedom. You
sandbox. You're
want to
just playing around
run.
with the sand. If you want to go and run and really, explore your horizons, you have to get out of the box. And that's what I was talking about this morning, actually, with one of the traders who was, wondering if he should get in or out. But I can definitely share with you, at least on a technical aspect, my view and what I am thinking of longer term. Let me just show you my screen really quick. 1 second. Let's go to
Yeah, I'm
gold.
getting out of my silver trade, so feel free. I
Take your
realize
time. Take your
I
time.
gotta go ahead and do that. Even though it's down 52 cents today, I don't not that's what happens when you're doing other things, right?
Yeah. I don't think people understand the challenge of, trading live and doing all of these 1,000 things at the same time.
Still up 1% on my trade, so it's not a bad thing,
That's
but
that's always a great thing.
meme is killing it. I gotta get into some meme. Sorry.
Meme is it a meme coin? What is meme?
So meme is an ETF.
Okay.
And right now I'm up 20% on that one.
Nice.
So wish I had a larger position.
Don't we always when we're
Right?
winning?
Yeah. So an event, I will rotate some money. This is real life money rotation, right? I
Do
didn't
do what you
exit
got to
all of my,
do. Let me actually look at my position here. I was scaling
I'm only up
into
3%. Are you long or short?
I was getting long. I thought we were getting a bounce off of VWAP here and probably could go retest here, but I guess I'm wrong and we're
Or
probably gonna
I'm sorry,
revert
what's
back and go
the instrument there?
retest there. That's the Qs.
The Qs. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. All right, let me, like the young people say, I have my kids saying let it cook. Let me let it cook. And I'll go back
Set it
to
and
it in a
forget it
few.
like a crock pot. I like
Yeah,
those kind of trades.
there you go. Stop.
You know what?
Stop
They
is where
did
it needs to
move.
be.
Yeah, they moved their bigger money level to 648.87 there, right at my 33 exponential.
Yeah, it's not looking great with all those wicks there. Let me see.
But we're
It,
hitting the AMA, so it might
I'm gonna let it a little bit, even
marinate.
if it
You're gonna
goes
let it
lower, it's
marinate. I'm gonna
fine.
go along
Yeah.
with you.
Oh, thank you
Let's
for
get a little
accompanying me,
bit.
but I
Yeah,
might be wrong.
let's do it. I like it. I like the bounce. I like,
Let's see if we can get it.
oh man, I missed it.
But what I wanted to show you was gold longer term, and I was talking about that this morning. This is a daily chart, right? And if I was just looking at it strictly from a technical analysis perspective,
Hmm.
and I was saying that, hey, if you really zoom out and you look at this and you take, those two highs there, you get this level, you drag it down, you get exactly the same parallel lines down there. Of course, we can't rely on that 100%, but I don't know why my gut is telling me that we might get some sideways action in there. Maybe worst case scenario, we go retest those. Of course, on a much longer time frame, we go retest those summer highs in that area before we really go and test that coveted 6,000. Those J.P. Morgan guys have been talking about. I don't know what you
They
think.
start
Long.
advertising. What does that tell you? I'm
That's why I was
serious.
asking your opinion. Yeah,
They
they
gotta
have to
create
create
buyers.
the fire. Yeah, they got to create the
Yeah, they
fire.
have to do it. So
Um,
if they're, if they're not, I want to know what is the CFD
of
for,
gold,
like there's the S&P 500,
X for
SP
gold, it's
500.
XAU, I think.
No, but the Qs.
Oh, Q's is
QQ
NAS
100,
100. NAS 100.
NAS 100, NAS.
Yeah, NAS 100. And then you could choose whatever
See
broker
it.
you want,
Okay.
but I think you could just use Pepperstone or
I'm going to see which one
Oanda.
SP 500 is. Which one is SP 500? Vantage. That's the one I guess I usually use. So if I go
SP
to
500, yeah.
NAS 100, does Vantage have one? Because I like the Vantage one. I'm used to
I
using.
think it should.
Oops, I wanted to add it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
right there. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 below.
Yeah. All right. Let's go comparison
All
NAS
right.
100.
Let me get
Thank you.
no problem at all. Let me get your chart back up. All right, you're back online.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you know what? I've been playing around over here. Okay, I don't know what I did. Oh, there we go. I moved that. And then we'll
Looks
put
like they're
this.
buying.
Yeah, I'll put that there. This is a 45-minute. Let's bring it back to a 15-minute. And we're just sort of sandwiched right now, right? Like
Yeah.
we're in between these two. It did bounce off of the 8 EMA over here, which I liked. Let me do it like this too.
Let's see if they do what they did yesterday, which is just make it grind all day and make you wait for it. Because yesterday that's what we did. We moved up, but it was just channeling up and grinding all day. So
All right. So here I've got the 5-minute over on TradingView right there so that we're able to see the 5-minute. The blue line is the Nasdaq 100 futures. Let's come here, right here. Get rid of this, cancel. I can change the color right here. Style. What color do we want? Yellow? Let's go yellow.
oh, I thought you were
Maybe
gonna keep it blue or put it like electric blue or baby blue.
yeah. More visible. Maybe how about white?
I don't know why I associate colors with some assets. So the
No, it
Nasdaq,
makes
I
sense.
always see it blue, and then the S&P, I always see it red, and the gold, I always see it obviously yellow. Oil is black. I don't know. Is it just me?
I don't know. Well, certain things, or how about he and she, right? The feminine and
Yeah,
the
true,
masculine.
true, true,
Maybe
true.
if I do it light yellow, light
Yeah, you could
blue.
do it light yellow.
I just need another
It's,
color. I need it.
it's
Maybe I need it to be bolder. There we go. How about all right, here. We can do this blue. There we go. Okay, I like
nice.
it. Okay, so where you're seeing that actually on the cues, excuse me, that when we see this, it's coming down more on the CFD than on the price action for the cues. So are they
Hmm.
holding it up? And then they're going to drop the NASDAQ? Because many times if one is above the other,
Hmm.
so if the CFD is above, the Qs rise to meet it.
Hmm.
Makes sense, right? Because it's supposed to be the future.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
CFD is below, then the Qs drop down to meet it.
It'll magnet down to it. So we'll see.
So if I put it on a 1-minute, we're kind of sideways, but it is accelerating to the upside over here. So let's bring this over to a 1-minute. Now you can see where I degen Jane.
Let's see. Let's see. It's holding, but it's not convincingly holding for me. And then we had some increase in volume, but that got shut down right away. So, like I
I
say, it's
do like
probably
that
people.
we have the TTM squeeze curling here,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm ready to see that. But we're also in sort of spaghetti. We're stuck in the spaghetti sauce. We're stuck in the box. And we
Yeah,
could
VWAP
easily
is my
be
stop.
outside of the
If we get, I'm using VWAP. If we get below VWAP, so basically below that low here, that prior low, then that scalp is off for me.
And here is our box. Apply. There you go. We're bouncing off of that 200 exponential. Will it hold or will it break down? Right?
Well, we just leave it and let it do what it's gonna do.
Yeah. We'll bring it down here. Okay. Oh, I don't like it. This might be my third attempt and out for the day.
Yeah, it probably needs to rotate lower before if it's gonna revert back.
I'm out. No more.
No problem. Still holding. We'll see.
Where's your VWAP?
My VWAP is right at 26,821. So just right at that wick. So that wick
All
is the
right.
stop. If that wick can hold, then great. If it can't, then we're out.
I hear you. I use those more as like brick walls, right? Somebody, I don't know how to say his name, Bear. So looks like, is that Ty? I don't know. It looks like Ty. That
Yeah, he said we could call him Bear. So
right. So I have that on there because if I'd really looked at it before I got in, I saw that you were long and I was like, okay, I'm going to go long because it looks long, but they flipped their levels here. And now all of the moving averages are above except here you go.
okay, there's news or there's something going on.
Or it's algos.
Yeah, that looks like news. What time is it? 10:41. It's almost 45. Let me take a quick look.
There's a battle. There's definitely a battle right
If
now.
we could get follow through, that would be great for my trade. But
Yeah. But the
let me
1
just
minute,
take a
it's
quick.
just, there we go. And is it going to be the sell? Yes.
Yeah, they're
Nope,
selling
just
it.
kidding. It's got to really get outside of this zone. It's in the headache. Okay, it moved up on the moving averages, but now you can see why I have those there because the algos buy on certain ones and they sell on certain ones. So
Yeah.
which algo is the most powerful? Are they selling on the 15 EMA right now? They bought on the
Give me 1
200
second. I'm looking at the news.
news
Okay, so we
cycle?
have Warsh speaking. Warsh calling for
Warsh.
fresh communication strategies. He says interest rate tools is what? I don't understand that. Oh, he's going to utilize the interest rate tools in a new way. He calls for a new framework to address inflation. So that's what's going on.
New framework to address inflation. Okay, great. So he said nothing and
And then the
the
latest
market
one,
is going.
U.S. Senate Majority Leader Toon saying Republicans will advance a budget plan this week to enable Homeland Security funding. All right, that's something else. I think it's the fact that Warsh is talking. So
He's
will the
washing the market.
Warsh washing. So let's see. Will Warsh be the thing that helps us or not? I don't think so yet.
Ready. I'm ready for the break.
Let's see. Wait, be patient. Be patient. Sometimes I'm too patient, but
no, it's better to do that than stab at the market.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you miss the move, and now it's okay. I'm okay with missing moves, but back in the day, I would kick myself.
It feels like they really want it to be bullish, but they're above this level. I'm going to, nope, it's got to get above. Okay, now we see that it's gone It's moving up above. Where's the price action? The blue. But you see how it's like we are stuck in all these moving averages. They use the moving averages for their algorithmic trading. And so that's why I have the spaghetti on my chart, because we could even bring it all the way back down here and it could end up that, hey, it bounces. So we've got to really get above or below over here before we have a super directional trade, in my opinion.
Let me pull back. Ah, there we go. Let me pull back my gold trade, which I was talking about with Bear this morning. And very similar analysis to yours. So remember, I was telling you guys we were inside this box. We needed to get out, and so when we got there, and you were asking if we should go long, I told you watch for this, and that's what happened. It got rejected. We pulled back. This was not sustained, and then we went down. So all right, I got just a stopped out of the Nasdaq right now. Oh, one got stopped out. Still holding the rest, but I think we're looking for a push lower here, so I might just flip my bias. Let's see what we get. Will they be able to hold, or will we go retest this morning's levels?
Maybe it's going to come back to where we were at 9:48. Do you know how to put the time on the bottom?
Yeah, I remember I did that. Give me a second. It's called countdown something something. Give me one sec. Settings.
Time
More
scale.
settings.
There we go. I think I figured it out. Okay.
You got it?
No, I guess I didn't.
Wait, chart trading. I think it's an appearance.
Price scaler, price indicator, time scaler. Well, maybe price scale, price indicator.
No, it's something.
General, show title bar, highest and lowest, display of candles. See, now I'm good. Like now, okay, we're coming back down. I think it's going to, oh, okay, get out. Okay. I want it to come back to, yeah, I was saying 9:48. So I need to adjust these to, where is that here?
I can't remember where it is. Because I didn't have it either, and then I remember putting it on because I like to see the countdown as well.
Oh yeah, fade away, baby.
Yeah, we're fading. All right. Let's see if we can go and retest this this area down there. Well, Warsh is not helping.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Let's see.
Jen Rhoda saying Nasdaq on downtrend. Yes, we are. I flipped my bias. We're moving down. Let's see if we can hold this downtrend or not. We have Warsh speaking, so that's what's going on. And then we have Daniel in the house. How you doing, Daniel? Welcome.
Hello. Bonjour, ça va?
And Daniel's in Sweden. He's our Discord super moderator. He's been trading for a long time.
All right.
So awesome dude there. All right.
See, I'm looking for, actually, let's bring it all the way back down here.
Yeah, I want to see, can we test around 26.760s more or less? Will we get that follow through or not?
I think it's going to retrace here, probably take me out, and I'm okay with that. Give me the profit on it.
All right. If we retrace and we hold under the previous level, I'll probably add to the position, depending on how intense that retrace is, of course. Now
I see that they are buying more on the futures on the CFD than they are indicating on the Qs. But they
Okay.
have not flipped their position yet for the bigger money. So the bigger money is still up above. So it could be wait for a opportunity to sell, like up here at the 4 on my 5-minute chart. Maybe it wants to come up and test up here.
Yep. Let's see what we get. Warsh didn't start off well.
Are you sure Trump is awake?
To see what's up, Trunk is awake, so I keep track of his socials. Yeah, I think now when we got those, the start of those erratic moves, it is actually the new guy, Kevin Warsh, speaking.
Right.
And that's what's moving the market. There we go. He's still saying stuff. Central bankers need to quickly fix errors. He emphasized the importance on Fed officials being able to revise their views.
I'm going long.
Blah, blah, blah.
We'll see how well that will work.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm holding
Being
a
more
short.
patient on this one. Based off of bouncing off of the 61 retracement over here.
All right.
Let's do this. Let's go fib. Right there. Is that going to hold?
Never used fib on how do you call that?
Futures?
On this platform. I need to set them up.
Let me teach you.
Hey, there we go.
It's below. Okay, wait, here. I want this arrow.
Nice. So I'll have almost everyone except Steve putting arrows on their chart. Yesterday I was trading with Samir. He's from India. We were both short the Dow, and he was putting red arrows all over the place, and it was a pretty nice trade. So now I've
we
convinced
hit this.
everybody.
Yeah, we hit this. Now, it's not looking good.
I didn't put arrows on mine. That's why.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
No, you must.
But I'm short, Jane. I'm waiting. I want to add to my short.
I'm going to actually, this is where I think you would want to cover, is it's 78.6. So actually, correction, you know what? I got to fix the fibs. The fibs are lying.
But
actually,
I want a longer term trade. I don't want to scalp. So I want to kind of build a position today. Today I'm not in scalp mode. I want to build a longer position, try to hold it, and depending on where it goes, maybe hold overnight. So that's what we're doing today.
They could have a bigger move. I like the 78.6. Why are you? Stop listening there, Puck. 78.6. So look at how it reversed over here off of the 78.6.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that I added. It does not usually come on your fibs. And now we went to the 61. So I got in, I would have liked to have gotten in closer to 61% there and give myself the risk down. But I'm aiming now for my take profit up here. So I think we're going to see that Warsh had the drop. And now, you know what I also love?
Oh, yeah, I just saw something and I probably should be considering covering and changing my bias. Sorry.
That's okay.
No, I interrupted you. I was thinking out loud and I started blabbering.
It's all good. What I also like over here is, oh, perfect. I'll put it right there. Is that when you're watching this, you can see how much time you have left. So 1 hour and 6 minutes for the trading session in London. So okay, so we have an hour left in the trading day. What happens between 3 and 4 for the US market?
3 and 4 is power hour. So
do you know why it's a power hour?
Tell me, actually.
I used to work in the brokerage firms. So I used to be the person doing this because I was an assistant to four brokers. It's when margin calls start to go out. 2:30
Yeah.
is when the margin calls start to go out. So when you see that happening, that creates whatever trend it has been for the day up to that point. A lot of times you will see that reversal. That's why you will see a reversal typically when that last hour happens. And sometimes, depending on daylight savings, right, it will happen between 10 and 11, 11 and 12. And so you can see that when those margin calls come in, it's usually about every 15 minutes that
Hmm.
you will start to see a push in the volume. So having that awareness, you understand, hey, if I'm aware of this, I can monitor it and I can see if it's going to continue down or if it will reverse and they're going to close. Is this going to be a full on drop until 11? And then it reverses right there, or are they going to start? So we had the 10:45. If I click on this, does it tell me the time? Right.
If you
This is
go, wait, go all the
55,
way up, go all the
50,
way where
45.
you're. Yeah, the way to do it is with the lines. If
Okay.
you go all the way up, it should pull up like if you move your mouse all the way up. Yeah, there, and then go all to the left where you see the cross, the little
Yes.
circle with the cross. No, the
Oh,
below that.
circle with the
So you
cross.
you make
This.
it appear. No, go down, go down. Yeah, right there. You see a hand, and then next to
Ah,
the hand, there you go. Now it should show you. Oh, okay. You don't have time on your chart.
that,
That you need to fix. I didn't see that, and that you need to fix in setting. Yeah, that's
that's
no
what I
use if you
was
don't have
asking
the actual
before.
time. That
That's
you
what
need
I
to
was asking
fix
before.
in
But that's why
settings.
actually I figured out too. Look, if you hover over the candlestick, it pops up. That was a
Y-
10:45
Yeah,
candlestick. And so is this going to continue down all the way until 11 o'clock when we have a full hour? Or is this going to be, a scenario? Yes, this one failed at 10:45. And it was also after they positioned for
hmm
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, half an hour almost, 25 minutes that they were positioning, and then it moved down. So is this going to be a continuation move for the next 6 minutes, or is this going to be another wick right here? Like we've seen these two
yeah.
wicks right here. Is there?
If you zoom out, we're still above yesterday's close. So
Yep.
that's why I haven't completely flipped my bias short. If we are able to hold in this area and sustain it after that hour or whatever's left of the talk, I think
Mhm.
we could continue to the upside and get back what we've lost. But we'll have to wait and see. So I'll wait and see.
And just busting around with the low from yesterday, putting it on up here to the
Yeah.
high.
I got out of my short a little too quick because we're right at my target, but we'll wait and see if we get another opportunity.
So this is flipped. I need to do it the other way around. You know what? Let's just delete it, and undo on that one.
Jen Rhoda saying, yeah, Nasdaq on downtrend. Oh yeah, we saw that, and then gold on the down move. Yes, Bear. So I hope you didn't you didn't take the long like we talked about this morning, and
As a
you weren't
bear, I
watching
wouldn't think
it.
he's long biased.
There you go. I wouldn't think so either. He was asking about longs, but his name is Bear. So
And I'm out of my long. And let's see if they'll bring it. Oh, they brought it down below the 78%
yep.
down here.
So now we just need to see, okay, is it going to be a sweep of the opening lows
We're
and then
almost
it
at
reverts
50%.
back or not? So we'll see. 50% from yesterday's lows?
Of the range from yesterday to today.
Okay. So is it going to be discount where
But we're hitting the
50% off and we buy?
78.6
So
over
we'll see.
there. I'm doing it.
We'll have to see. I'll have to wait because I don't want to scalp. I want to get something I can hold.
Right.
So we'll see.
Could also bounce over here.
Could also bounce. Well, you
Nope,
got
I'm out.
exactly 1 minute. Oh, as I'm about to say, you have exactly 1 minute for this trade to do what it's going to do.
Okay, I won't. It's at the 50% retracement right now from yesterday.
Because it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be 11. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I want to see what happens at 11. Okay, we're
You want to
testing
watch
those
it?
lows. Sorry for the pain. All right,
Close
Jen
another
Rhoda said
Nasdaq.
close another
Jen Rhoda,
Nasdaq
and
down
beautiful.
in profit. Nice, nice. Good on you, man. You've been printing on the shorts this morning. So awesome, awesome, awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
There we go.
Well, on that note, it is 11 o'clock. So we're going to have to say goodbye to everyone. But it was great having you as usual, Jane. And
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll see D-Gen Jane next week.
I was off today. I'm out. I'm out.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye.